What's going on, everybody? Welcome to GmiasWorld, and today what we're going to be talking about are chemistry boosts and how to get boosts to any player in Madden Ultimate Team 19. Now, it's more important than ever to be able to get the players the proper power-up for their chemistry. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go to our adjust lineup screen, okay? And everybody should be able to see this, whether you're PC, Xbox, or PS4, okay? Now, what the right side shows you is the chemistries, okay? These are like those are the special abilities, the conductor, energizer. You'll see that in red. The other ones are typically in blue, okay? And they have like the, the several with the stars and all that stuff like that. Typically, the ability chems are 1. So it's going to be 1 of 1 if you have any of them. Conductor, energizer, juke specialist, pick 6, all that other kind of stuff. That gets to a point where your player has achieved the 90 overall or better, okay? An example of that is here. I'm going to show you a Michael Vick because he's over the 90 overall threshold. He gets what's called a special ability, slot, and these are his things that he can get. He can't get Gunslinger because his throw power is not at the the threshold, but he can get all these other ones. Okay, so these are different type of chemistries that can be added based on the overall of your player. All right, now let's go back to, we're going to just do the chemistry basics, and then I'm going to go through all those other special things. Now, on the right side, you see the go deep and you see the lockdown. Offensively, I'm using go deep for my players. How do you get go deep on your players? Let's use this guy as an example, Andy JANOVICH. I'm not going to be keeping this guy. He's just a temporary fullback on my team right now. But just like anything else, you can go and look at, if he can be powered up by just pressing the square button or the X button on the Xbox One, selecting upgrade, okay? And then you can spend 5 training points to add a chemistry, okay? Now, when you add the chemistry to him, you can pick which one you want. Go deep, all the other stuff like that, okay? I want to note again that I have videos showing you how to power up any player. Make sure that you understand that when you're powering up a player, you have to start from the lowest overall of that player. Legends usually start like 72, 73. The other basic cards of regular players, they start at 68. Make sure you start at that base power up and don't start powering them up from your adjust lineup screen until you've added their highest overall card. For instance, the reason that I could continue to upgrade Vic from this point is because I already did everything from the base. So I got it from the beginning. You have to start from the beginning. Once you start from the beginning and you get down to the point where you add their highest overall, like I added his 91 already, now I can go from the lineup screen and do it. Other than that, I have to do it from my item binder, which I'm going to show you guys in a second. Okay, so now, with the chemistries on the right side, I chose go deep. Okay, what does go deep do? You push down on the R3 analog, and it's going to show you what it does. +3 throw power, +3 beat press, +3 break sack, +3 spec catch, deep accuracy, and deep route running. Okay, so all of my wide receivers, my running backs, he doesn't have it, but it doesn't matter because I'm already maxed out. All of these guys are going to have these special attributes. Okay, so when I click on them, you're going to see the upgrade. You see his spectacular catch is up, you see his deep route running is up, and then if you press the R1 on the top, you can scroll down and see the other things. Obviously, throw power doesn't contribute to him because he's not the QB, but you'll see in blue everything else that it adds, okay? When you add these chemistries, it takes a certain amount of players for it to be activated. Now, you can use only the players, you can use the uniforms, and you can use the coaches to add chemistry. What does that mean? When you scroll over to team strategy, you'll see that I have these uniforms that I got from, you get an option for this at MUT level 40. So all you have to do is play the game. Right now I'm at level 48. When you get to MUT level 40, you get a chance at these elite items, okay? The uniforms. With these uniforms, you can add whatever chems you want to the uniform. So whatever you wanted to do, you can add it to it. I wanted go deep, so I added go deep. I could have added lockdown. I could have done whatever I wanted to these uniforms, and these uniforms have 5 slots that you could add different chemistries to. So this is another way to increase the amount of chemistry for any particular player. And it goes for both sides, okay? Your coach, the coach at this time, I believe only John Madden has like special ways to add stuff to every player. Other than that, the coaches, if you try to upgrade a gold coach or a gold stadium, what they're going to do is they're going to go to their respective teams at this time. As the year goes on, I'm pretty sure that there are going to be other coaches that's going to be able to add the other parts. But if you use a guy like this, for example, he's only going to add to a Jaguar scheme, okay? Nothing else. You can see that the uniforms are universally adding to either chemistry, okay? So you have to get 30 of them. You can use that Go Deep Chem to do it that way. Now, another interesting question about chemistry is as far as the teams go. How do you add the team chemistries? Like Chicago Bears, I have one. Cincinnati, I have two. Buffalo Bills, I have one. All that. People want to know, how do you add so many of those players? Because when you look at what you get, for every 50, you get, hold up, you get +1 speed for 25, okay? And then you get another +1 speed at tier 8 for 40, and then for 50, you get another one. So when you get 50 players of any one team, it adds +3 speed to all of their chemistries. Okay, so now, for instance, a guy like Randy Moss who played for several teams, if you wanted to adjust it so that you switch the team that he played for so that he could get that +3 speed, you would go to upgrade, you would go over to his chemistry, and then you would click Minnesota Vikings, and it'll show you every team he played for. So if you want an all-Patriots team, you would add to his Pats. If you want an all-Raiders, whatever, you would do it like that, and then you would get all of those, situations for that team. When you add it all up, you would be able to increase the speed for Randy Moss. That goes the same for every single player, okay? Every single player, you can use a certain amount of players from their actual respective team, and it'll increase their speed. Remember, you only get this option if the player actually played for another team. Randy Moss played for all these other teams, but to me, he will forever be a Viking because that's where he mattered the most. I know about 2007 with the greatest QB of all time. All right, before you guys start saying that. I know about Tom Brady. But to me, Minnesota is what made Randy Moss. Okay, so I would have to get another 50 players, okay, 49 players to get the +3. Because you get the 1, then you get the 2 at the 40, and then in 25, you get the other one. So if I got 50 total, Randy Moss would be 3 speed points faster, all right? Obviously, it's very, very difficult for the team chems to do that, so you would have to be building more than likely your entire team around one player. Now, the +3 speed would make Randy Moss a complete monster, okay? You would have to figure out how to get it done, though, because that's a lot of players. So the second, like, if you look at the slots, we could do 1, 2, you know what I'm saying? Like, even with him, he only has Vikings times one. You see what I'm saying? So you would probably have to use the Vikings coach to increase that scheme so that way you add more to it. That would be an idea to add more to that. You see what I'm saying? Because that would reasonably be the only way. That, you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be any other way to do anything else with it. You would have to try to figure out a way to unlock it. Now, with this whole situation, right, you have to see, like with the coaches, how they do stuff. The way that they do it, they add it based on different type of attributes. So if you wanted to go rushing would add a different thing for the coach than it would for pass defense. You see what I'm saying? So when you start going with gold coaches, which is why a lot of people are going after John Madden, because he has several secret chems that can help your overall team. These guys, they're going to be team specific, and then you got to go based on, whatever it is to try to get those additional things. Okay, so you can go through it and see what these different coaches, what they mean to the different schemes. But all in all, when you get those players together, keep in mind also, it's the same thing with the stadiums. Right now, I have a starter stadium, so I can't really do anything with it. But I've tried in other videos and showed you, I've bought other stadiums just to show you that it's similar to the coach. You can add other things to the scheme, build that up, which in turn builds up the rest of your team with their scheme. And also, in addition, it increases everything else that goes on within that player itself for everybody on the team. So what EA is trying to do is make you gear yourself up towards one team. Because if you do it like that, it's easier for you to gain all those things. If you look at my old line, I have 3 players from the Cowboys, right? So when we go over here and we look through, we find the Dallas Cowboys, you can see the 3 players there, right? We still haven't gotten to anywhere near the amount that we're going to need. Now, I could go crazy and start adding Zeke Elliott, go through, add all kinds of silver players. Because remember, the backups at the respective position also counts towards the chem. So you can just go get a lot of cheaper ones like this and just add them into this situation. But you can see that it's, with the way that it is, you have 11 starters on offense, 11 starters on defense, and then you could have backups. Okay, so all of these backups would probably have to be Cowboys in order for me to do it. Maybe with John Madden, it'll be easier. You get the Dallas Cowboys coach, Garrett. You get the stadium. You get things like that that adds to it. That's another way that you can build this chemistry up as far as team chemistry goes. Okay, so that's team chemistry. Looking at the other things with the go deep, the lockdown, I showed you examples of it, but I'll show it to you again. What happens, I'm going to use Ricky Williams, because you can use anyone to just see what the chems are. You go over to the chemistry, and you just click on it, and you'll be able to see the other ones, the balanced offense, power run, go deep, West Coast, play fake, zone run, West Coast, balance O, power run. Like all these things that you see here, You can, build your team up however you want, but make sure you look to the right side to see the amount of players you need and also what it's going to require and what you get from it, okay? Because it has to make sense. A lot of you guys are trying to build different schemes, whatever like that. I chose go deep. That's my thing. You don't have to do go deep. If you like West Coast, I've been running into a lot of guys that's running West Coast. If you like all these attributes and all these stats, you go through it, you look at what the acronyms mean, the initials of what it is, and then you add it to your players if that's what you want. But just remember that after the players an 88 overall or more, they get the ×2. If you're wondering why that ×2 is there, that unlocks at 88. Okay, so just keep that in mind when you're doing everything that you have to do with that. And as you go on, you simply add everything to it. Now, with the physical chemistry, I'm going to show you that really quickly. I could just go, we'll use Randy Moss for this example, all right? You can go ahead and you can add things with the physical, but these are very expensive. And then it also requires a certain amount of players to unlock. Like this one will give you +2 speed, but it requires 30 people, and then it's going to require, what is that? That's going to be 30,000, okay? That's 30,000 training points. So if you're balling, you're going to have, players that are very, very fast at the sprinter position. People like me, my bank account ain't set up like that. I ain't doing that. But these are physical chems that you can utilize, and you will always see what happens on the right side inside this actual upgrade power-up section. Okay? So that's what this is about. Okay? So when you look at it and try to figure out the chemistries, you look to the right side, you see exactly what it is. If you want to see what any chemistry and all the available chemistries are, click on any of your players by pressing the square button or the X button. When you see that upgrade, you click it, you go to the scheme slot, and it'll show you all the chemistries. After you add it by buying it with training points, it'll light up on the right side of your screen, and you build your team however you want based on what you see that you get. And you can see what everything else you can see what everything gives you by just pressing down on the R trigger, the R3 button. You can see what every chemistry gives you. So it's not a big deal. You can figure it out yourself, and you go through it and you add it. And this is the way that you build your team. And it's actually a much better way so that you can figure out what you're going to want to do throughout the year with your squad and how you want the chemistries to affect you. I chose go deep on offense. I chose lockdown on defense. I may go to pass rush for my defensive line, but we'll figure out that stuff later by using the uniforms, the coaches, the stadiums, or whatever like that to help that lockdown go up a little bit more in addition to the pass rush. So this is simply how to just utilize chemistry, what it does to the team. You click on it, you'll see it in blue. If you want to see more of it, you press the R1 button, and it scrolls down, and then it shows you everything that it's doing. So everything is up front in your face. You see how your chemistry is being added. You see how you add the chemistry in general by adding the players. You see the team. You see the actual separate go deep scheme chemistries. I've showed you the special ability slots, and I've showed you the physical. So you should at this point now know how to power up any card, and also how chemistry affects every card in Madden 19 Ultimate Team. If you have any other questions or comments, feel free to leave it in the comment section. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, @GmiasWorld. See you guys and girls next time. One love.